How's it guys, and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be covering this unit here, the full construction and everything of it, how to put it all together. This for me is a cheapy setup rack system, but going to work very nice. It's tried and tested. So there's certain components I used. I will explain why. If you guys have questions, you're more than welcome to leave comments. I can answer those for you as well. So yeah, we're going to cover all the components used to assemble this. There's certain times where I actually went wrong, so keep an eye out for a bit of text. There's a certain order of getting things where it's going to be a bit neater and less problematic. Plus you can also use your own intuition about it. Yeah, just steal ideas from everybody you can. That's what it's all about. And yeah, if you guys are wondering where I am now, and this big curtain behind me, this is a private room where I keep a couple mambas and black spitting cobras. So this curtain here is a stress curtain. I always don't want to stress the black mambas out. They're very nervous snakes. And yeah, the last thing we need is one of these boards going through a window, but luckily everything went alright. So, hope you guys enjoy this video, and please do like and subscribe. Okay, so let's take a look at all the components that's going to go into this rack unit. We're obviously going to start at the base, and I had these grooves routed in here for the heat cable. So as you can see, the heat cable fits into these grooves quite nicely. We are going to be covering it with aluminium foil, and the reason I'm going this route is that if I ever need to change this cable, it's quite easy to get out rather than sealing it in here permanently. Another nice thing about the aluminium is that it's good for spreading heat, so it's going to make a nice heat band here on the hot side. Okay, so that's the base. The shelves pretty much the same, all their grooves, and then we've got the side panel over here. So what's going to happen is the heat cable is going to come down along the shelf, and then when it gets here, we're going to go up the side, and it's going to come on the next shelf. So any blank spots I have where there's no heat cable, I can seal that with Sikaflex, which is a really high bonding agent. You guys will see later. Then you can see I've also made some lines over here. This is where all my screws are going to go for my shelves, so that everything can be nicely aligned. You can see exactly where they're going to go. So a little bit of prep work involved. And you can see there's pilot holes here as well around the edges. So you just want to do around the edges, not the front, which was my mistake. I did the front. I'm used to doing a lot of cages, and we make a template with the whole one. So what we do is just use the thickness of the board, draw a pencil line over here, and then in the very middle of this space, you just draw where you're going to do your pilot holes. Now I did these about 20 centimeters apart. At the edges, I always go about 5 centimeters from the edge. Some wood, if you go a bit too close, it can actually split the board. That's mostly like your layered boards, like shutterboard and some pine and things like that. Alright, so that's that. These are the tubs. This is a Formosa 10 liter. So these are just going to go in here. As you can see, it's going to sit over the cable. So we've got a nice hot spot here, cool spot that side. Still got to do all the ventilation. And then these are stoppers. So this will be sitting on the next cage level here, stopping this tub from being pushed all the way through. So any exposed areas, which are going to be exposed to elements and that you want to edge. So on the stoppers, we just edged the one length because the other length is going to be sealed up against there. The ends here are going to fit on the shelf, the sides, so that's not edged. The top and the bottom is edged all the way around, and then your shelves only edged on both lengths. Okay, then I'm going to use this Dimmerstat over here. I'm probably going to use 2 of these units, so each heat cable, because I'm going to need 2 for the length of this rack unit. So I want each heat cable to have a day-night Dimmerstat. So if the one had to go, it's not going to cook all my other animals. Because this heat cable here is 100 watts and it's 10 meters long. So I worked out that I needed 2. Hopefully I was right on that. Right, so let's start assembly and see how it goes. So, first place you want to start, make sure your heat cable works. Normally the heat cable's got a marker, obviously it's going to heat up all the way to this tip. But there's like a little blue stripe somewhere on here which shows the heating starting from, and then there's a cold side. So obviously you don't want the cold side in your rack unit, but I can feel it is working. So that's great. We can start assembly now. Okay, so first thing I've got to do is obviously put this heat cable in this piece over here, and then you grab one of the back boards. Okay, so this little end is going to sit out there. It might actually be best if you tape it first, eh? But I'm just going to stick this up like this. It's also much easier if you've got someone to actually help you with this. Okay, so I always want to have my sides on a base. If you do it the other way around and you're putting weight on this unit, this is going to break the screws. All the weight's going to be on the screws, whereas this way the weight is all on the base. So structural integrity, this is the best way to do it. Alright, so then we're just going to fit these here. So you can see along this length I've actually got quite a lot of screw holes. Maybe a little bit of overkill, but I'd rather have that than this unit coming apart. Okay. Right, I just want to make sure everything lines up. Always much easier to have someone give you a hand. So now this sticking out here, this obviously could get damaged, but this is going to be on another side where it's not going to be seen. It's not going to be walked past or anything, so I don't foresee it being an issue at all. Okay, and we'll make sure everything feels flush, and then let's go. I just want to get it nice and flush there. Let's sort the bottom here quick. Okay, so here it came out a little bit. It's nice to sometimes have a hammer, a rubber mallet, and you can just tap it a little bit. Wood is pretty forgiving, chipboard not so much as shutter ply. Okay, so we just want to get these sides done. Well, that one went in a bit deep, it's not the problem. Okay, so that feels nice and flush. Okay, let's get to the other side. We just want to turn this unit upright, because we're going to need it upright to continue with the rest. Okay. Okay, so we can undo this now. And we can lay this along here. Okay, so you guys see how it's going to go up into the next level there. Okay, these grooves are actually quite loose. They could have been a little bit tighter, but I'd rather have it too loose than too tight. The tape is going to keep it down and from popping up. All right, where is my tape? Here we go. Okay, so we just want to make sure we have it nice and middled. I actually thought I had more of this tape, so I'm going to have to pick up some at a later stage, but I should manage in fitting the cable later on. There's not a lot of space, so yeah, it'll be fun. Probably extremely frustrating. Okay. There we go. That's what we want. Oh, you gotta love it when tape does that to you, huh? There we go. Oh, look at that. We're falling short too. Happy days. Okay. But definitely do a bit of a neater job here. So that looks like that's about as far as I'm going to get with the heat cable. Alright, so luckily I found a whole new roll. Things are turning for the better. Okay, so we just want to get this piece in nicely. Okay, now obviously this wire is not going to like a real 90-degree turn, but it does alright, it's not too bad. Okay, don't know if that's coming out to the right height or not, but I can always just pull it down a little bit. Okay, and this we actually just want to cut it through there, that's fine. Okay, so we're almost done with the bottom layer. As you can see, this tape sticks really well. If you're going to use any tape in your enclosures, this is the tape to use. Any other tapes get a bit sticky and they can actually get stuck on your snake. So you can see it's going to go on. I mean, that's with me pushing it down. They're going to be very lightweight, so it's not going to be a problem at all. All right, now we want to seal the joints. Okay, so this is Sikaflex, as you can see, it's for building and so on. We just want to squeeze out a thin little bead. There, oh, there we go. Just a nice thin little bead, so we can seal all this. We can even go over there a little bit. That little bit's not going to stop me if I need to change it one day. Then easiest thing, a little bit of spit in the finger, gentle pressure, and smear it all the way through. Now it's got a nice sealed joint there. So water is not going to get in here. Not that you're going to have water really getting in most times, because all the water is going to be in their container for humidity or whatever. Okay. But we want to protect the wood as best we can. Okay, so one part I didn't show. These are going to be spacers which are in the beginning just for getting the right height for my shelving. But I'm going to put the tubs here as well. And again, the reason I went short with them is if I want to get that heat cable out, it's not going to be sealed in by one of these, because I can use this maybe in the middle or somewhere. Got a couple of them that if it starts warping in the middle, this is going to stop it. And then your tubs are not going to get too tight. You can always have some cut later and just insert them if you want to. So very handy with the initial build. Don't want to stick it in the silicone now. Okay, and then tubs. So we just want to layer our tubs down. And the nice thing with the spacers as well, I can see what height I need to go up to here. Alright, so I want to actually just fill this void here. That's probably actually going to, when it's coming back on the next level, yeah, it's going to come from here up. So you want to stop just about there. And seal all that wood there. No one's going to see that, just to protect the wood nicely. Okay, this stuff sticks like baby poop to a nappy, so Try and get it off best you can in the start. Okay, so you can see there's a nice little bit of a spacer there for all our tubs. Next one over here. All right, now we can pop in the next shelf. Okay, so we obviously need to remember the heat cable. It would really help to have another set of hands here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're just going to go with our pencil line here. Over here. Okay, just want to go a little bit underneath that line because I know pretty much where 16 mil is. You don't want to go too far, obviously. So we're just going to go right there. One there. One there. And one there. Problem is we're getting all this falling into our silicone again. Not ideal, but hey, not the end of the world. I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to these things, but I'm starting to be not so finicky about it nowadays. Not the easiest lines to see. Oh, this line I can barely see at all. This is actually the best way to do it. Okay, so using this spacer plus the line I have on top, I can see exactly where the middle is and I can drill my holes. But again, here I can't see the top, so I'm just going to go where I know the middle should be. Okay. Again, the line didn't come out too nicely. All right. So that's our pilot holes. We want to put all our tubs back. And our spacers. All right. Okay, so you want to make sure that these edges are flush. Then you can actually push down here. Okay, and use another spacer just to make sure the back is in the right position because it doesn't have as much support here. So I'll use a spare one there, push down nicely. Okay, perfect. Oh, that's working nice. that's perfect. Nice and easy. I'll just remove these spacers. There we go. So now I can always put, there's no middle because I've got 5 containers. So I could always put one in here for structural support. And then the next one I could do here and so on, just to keep this from bowing. But it should be fine. I don't foresee it having too much issues. Over time it might bow a bit, yeah. Okay, so I've got some on my leg. Damn! Okay, so we're going to leave these in here. And it'd actually be nice to leave a support in as well. Okay, so now we want to get the back stopper in. It should be a nice tight fit. There we go, very tight fit. There we go. Get all our screws in place. All right, and then again, I want to make sure things are all nice and flush here. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to screw that in like that. As you can see, there's still space for me to work a little bit here if I need to replace that heat cable. So we're just going to go along and fit this one in. Little around 24 hours later, thanks to Eskom and all the load shedding when we don't have any power, there were some delays, a little bit of blood, sweat and choice words, and we got the job done. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. All the drawers are freely moving. Over time, some of them are going to get a bit tighter, and as I say, if I need to, I can just buy more spaces and I can just pop them in here and there. See, like that. It is a very long unit. The reason I went with this long unit is there's going to be another 2 units built underneath this, and if I had to make this into 2 units, you see I'll be missing all of those middle tubs. So that's why I went with this odd length and everything. And I mean, I can just brace it at the back and I can put spaces in, so that's not a problem. It's going to work 100%. I know it will. Yeah, so it came out pretty good. I had some hiccups. I don't have a back piece here. I don't know why I didn't order it, or I've misplaced it in transport or something. So, but that's a simple fix. I can just buy another one, pop that in. But you can see with all the templates, all the screw holes nice and straight. Same with the sides. All the holes there, all the way down. Cool. So I hope this gave you guys some ideas for your racking systems. We'll probably have other rack build where I'll show you a different style where we're going to do the 2 underneath, larger tubs and different type of heating. So stay tuned. Please give us a like, subscribe.